Welcome to All Things Possible TV. I am Kris Barney and I'm excited to have you here with me for our episode this week, which is This Is Not Happening. Do you live in resistance? Or are you living in resistance? Our episode today is going to be live and real again. If you've watched very many of our episodes, you really get the nitty-gritty, raw and real story from myself and my husband, who is Bill Barney, who is also in our company, and from those who share. We share from the heart and we tell you real life things that are happening. A lot of people don't want to admit those kind of things are happening in their life, and yet when we live in resistance to what's going on, it can cause problems. Before we get into the real meat of today, I would like to invite you to go to our website right here on the screen, www.allthingspossible.biz, and get your free gift. We have a free gift for you. It's the 7 traits which I teach all the time on how to really change your life, how to up level, how to go to the next level, and what you can do immediately to see huge benefit in your life. So jump on, get that free gift for you. It's a video series and it comes to you over 2 weeks, so you have a lot of time to watch those videos and to really implement those in your life. And I would love for you to get that free gift. So jump on there, get your free gift, and change your life right now. It's an easy way for you to get good information which can change your life. And there's a lot of stories and reasons how that was implemented into our lives or into our life and how I learned those traits, to give you some background and actually how that helped us to move forward and to see things differently. So jump on to get your free gift. Okay, so the title this week is This Is Not Happening. Have you ever found yourself saying that? This is not happening. This is not real. Is this a dream? Like, I just want to wake up, right? Well, let me tell you what has just happened for me. Recently, last week, I left for Lake Powell. Now, I love Lake Powell. If you're not from Utah area and you don't know Lake Powell is this miles and miles and miles of beautiful lake with rock walls and red rock and just gorgeous. But for me, we have a boat and we leave it down there in dry storage, so it's very easy for us to jump in a vehicle, run down, and have fun. Now we have best friends that have a boat there too, and so there's a lot of times we just jump in the vehicle, take off, and go enjoy a few days away. Now when our kids were younger, it involved a houseboat and a speedboat, but we've switched that all up to this a little bit different. We're in a boat where we just stay on the boat. It's become a really fun thing for us to do and really relaxing. So this particular weekend, it was just my husband and I. And it was this big, getaway, this little retreat for us, but it was also a work weekend. We both were taking projects, things that needed to be done that we weren't catching up on at home with our business, and it's a good time for us to spend some really quality time going over some of the business and some of the planning and some of the strategic parts that we have to put together. So we had this big weekend planned and we take off. We actually even left a few minutes early compared to what we usually do. So we actually got down to our boat that's in storage in daylight, which almost never happens. So we got to watch the sun go down on Wednesday night and just thoroughly enjoyed the drive down and being down there and having everything pretty much handled, because when we leave for a few days, stuff at home's handled, things are taken care of, and once we get that boat on the water, there is no cell phone, no internet. So it's quality time. It's project time, right? It's time to really unplug for a few days, rejuvenate, and for us it was recharge those batteries and spend time together. So Thursday morning, we get up, drop the boat in the water, and when I got up, my back hurt really bad. And I've had some issues with my neck and back before from boating injuries, but I was like, oh, whatever, it will get better. So I dropped the boat in the water, go put the truck and trailer away, which is like a mile and a quarter walk back to get back on the boat. And to get in the cabin cruiser and take off with my husband and business partner, right? So I'm walking back down and I'm thinking, oh, this is just painful. But I just, like kind of stretch as I'm walking and walk down, got on the boat. And as I got from the dock to the boat, which is about 4-foot drop, and, he backed up and then immediately pulls away. So I'm jumping off really quick, jumping on the back of the boat, jump in the boat. And as I go to set my cell phone and the radio and the keys to the vehicle just inside of the cabin part, I reached out with my right arm and it didn't want to work. And I was just like, oh my goodness. And so I'm still shortness of breath, not really compensated for this walk that I just did, because I'm walking fast to hurry and in a lot of pain. And you can tell I'm still not breathing super good, but I was just really struggling. And he's like, are you okay? And I'm like, my back hurts really bad. I've thrown my back out or something. And it's really miserable. And so he was like, oh, when we get there, we'll work on your back. He's a healer. Lucky me that I have a healer on board. So it's, I'm like, we're good, let's go. And we continue down the channel and we continue driving. We're not very far. And I'm like, I'm going to have to go lay down. I can't sit here with the bouncing with my back and my neck and my shoulder area at all. I've got to go sit. I've got to go lay down. I can't sit anymore. So I jump down into the cabin, go lay down on the bed, and we get to the spot. We get all set. I help him anchor the boat, and we're tying off. And he's like, "This is really bad. You're miserable." And I'm like, "I'm in a lot of pain." So we sat down and we did a session, but I'm not able to sit for very long. Like, we're talking a few minutes, 15, 20 minutes, and I am throbbing pain going down my legs, down my arms, and it was really painful. So I had to lay down. Well, what I had planned on working on all weekend was my laptop, which if you can't hardly move your arms and your upper body, typing on a laptop sitting at a table in a boat is not exactly comfortable or good surroundings. I did not take my headset so that I could talk and type at the same time, because I knew that we were both working on projects. So feeling deflated by Thursday afternoon, in pain, I'm laying on the bed, and so I pull out the DVD player, throw in a DVD, throw in my earphones, so I'm not disturbing Bill and his project, and I start watching this movie. As I'm watching this movie, the whole time I'm thinking, dang it, I have so much to do. I want to plan this. We've got a 4-month schedule to go over. We've got to make sure we have all of our weekends planned. We have everything scheduled. I've got to figure out what this assistant gets to do and what this assistant gets to do and who we're hiring for our new employee, and all this is going on in my head. I probably couldn't even tell you what the movie was about or which one I watched. And I realized that, there was really nothing I could do about it. I tried getting the laptop out and laying in the bed trying to do it. Tried to put it on my lap and try to do it. I tried different things and it wasn't working. About every 10 minutes I had to change positions with the pillows and everything because I was in so much pain. And it was so uncomfortable. So, here we are on vacation. I'm in this beautiful, beautiful area. We end up in this canyon we've never been in before. There's only 2 other boats that you can even see. Rock walls, beauty beyond description. In fact, we'll probably even put a picture in this video so you can kind of see where we were. But it was unbelievable, and yet I'm miserable. I'm laying on a bed thinking, this is so frustrating. It's my few days off. It's my, my R&R, right? And I'm mad that I can't work. So, was I living in resistance to what was going on? Absolutely. I continued the next day. We did a healing session. I got feeling a little bit better. We'd done a couple of things. And I moved forward, right? So Friday I get up. It's so bad. I start the day again with videos, DVDs, watching movies. And rather than embrace where I was and what was going on, I'm still making this list of all these things I'm not doing. All this wasted time, all this, like, I can't believe this is happening, right? And I just kept making my list bigger and bigger of the things that I wasn't handling while I was supposed to be on this rest and relaxation weekend. Well, let me tell you what happened. No, it wasn't a lot of rest and relaxation while I was so worried about what I wasn't doing. When I stopped trying to live in that what is supposed to happen, and I stopped the resistance, when I stopped pushing against what was happening, and I started to embrace it. Number one, my project was totally different than Bill's project. Bill had taken down a project, and I knew what project he was taking down there. When I packed my stuff, he was taking down a project that was to enter 60 appointments into a certification program to complete the certification for one of the modalities that he's worked on. And it's 60 appointments. Now, number one, I can't help with those because they're confidential. Number two, he had to have it quiet so that he could do his thing and not have me interrupt. Now, if I would have been able to sit across the table with my laptop going and keep asking him questions, how long do you think it would take him to get through those 60 appointments? As it was about 45 minutes for every single one of those that he was entering. So was it going to work for both of us to have a project going? No, absolutely not. But I hadn't even thought through it that far. And number one priority needed to be the certification. He's got to get it turned in. So the fact that I was having this little freak out moment of like, I'm laying there watching movies, this is not something I normally do. But did I even acknowledge that I'd left a DVD player on the boat, that I'd left the movies last time? Now, usually we take a projector when we have our friends going, we project it up on a rock wall, we watch these movies. And guess what? There's a pack of movies with about a dozen chick flicks in it. Totally some of my favorite movies. Was I happy that they were there? No, I was frustrated. I was totally like, oh my gosh, I so need to be booking out my calendar and picking my topics and making sure everything's in place and making this list of things that has to happen for my next step, right? So when we live in resistance, we totally put a block up for abundance. By the time I got to Friday night, I'm like, there's no way. I can't do any of this anyway. Bill was getting really far in his project. And when I decided Friday, afternoon to evening time, to really embrace what was going on and be like, you know what? It's not going to happen this weekend. It's just not supposed to. Why don't I embrace the sunset, the sunrise, the beautiful surroundings? By Friday, 2 of the boats left. We're the only boat left in this whole canyon. People weren't coming up the canyon and turning around. It was just for us. And it was a beautiful time to be able to spend together and for Bill to be really successful in his project that he had planned to take down, and for me to actually let things go. That's something I don't usually do, is just lay around and take some time off. And usually when that happens, I, the whole time, am frustrated and making this whole list of the things that should be being done. And why couldn't I be doing more? So the lesson in all of this is we need to embrace where we are. Stop being in resistance. If you can embrace what is, you can enjoy it more and it can serve you more. When I started to embrace where I was at, I was laughing at the movies. I was enjoying it. One of the ones I watched was Dan in Real Life. And if you haven't seen that movie, it's how he goes through life with these kids and this relationship and how everything goes wrong. And the whole family's against him. Everybody's he's getting tickets. All these things are going wrong. And I was just laughing because I was thinking of all the things that were going wrong for me and how unproductive I was going to be. But once I started to really recognize how productive Bill was being, and that the conflict of the two of us trying to do projects at the same time wasn't really going to work, that it really was the better of what needed to happen. When I embraced the sunset, the scenery, getting on the little floaty and floating in the lake and just enjoying myself, having some sunshine, rejuvenating, and working on our own relationship. We have a great relationship, but I'll tell you what, it's the weekends away that we love to spend time together. It is really amazing to be able to go and just rekindle that love affair, that connection that we have. When I can embrace where I am and what was going on, I could see the value in the fact that we had the boat, the fact that we have Lake Powell so close, the fact that we had beauty beyond measure all around us, everywhere. And that I got to be in gratitude for that, not in resistance. When you can enjoy the moments, even if it is not what you planned, you can have so much more success. I came back and it's my filming day. And guess what? It's much easier to film something when you've learned it from your own mistakes, right? A lot of people don't like to be that real, and sometimes I'm really like, I tell people way too much. But so many times I see clients that live in resistance, that they're not embracing where they are, and they're so worried about where they should be or where they want to be going that they're not seeing this time for what it is. You know, I watched on Facebook today. Today is one of the first days back to school for several people, and it really started to get to me because I don't have any kids going to school. I'm to a stage where my kids are grown and they're gone, and my stage is much different than a lot of people's stages. My stage is much different than most of the ones I was seeing on Facebook, and they were like, oh, first day of school, and these tears, and here I was in tears going, I don't have anybody to send to school, and I'm feeling so lost because we tried to have a get-together Sunday night on our way back, and only one of the 4 kids could make it, right? Yeah. And yet, when I tell people I'm an empty nester and I'm going to the lake with nobody, they're all like, oh, how would that be, right? So often we tend to not appreciate what we have. We tend to live in resistance and we push back rather than embrace the abundance of what we have and where we're at. It's so important for us to really recognize the gifts that we have while we have them. It really stinks to recognize a gift that you didn't acknowledge when it's past. It stinks bad because you don't even recognize you had it. And if you don't love those kids in the moment when they're there, then they're gone. And it's up to them whether they can make time or not for the family, right? So instead of pictures of the first day of school, we're saying, please come to the get-together. Like, please make time for it, right? And you're hoping that you had enough influence that they want to spend time with the family, right? Because everybody gets busy. Everybody has their own stuff. Everybody has different obligations. And stuff changes. So stop living in resistance. Stop putting up the barrier. When the barrier is up there, abundance goes right out the window. The more you can embrace what is happening, and learn the lessons. The minute that I stopped Friday and said, this is crazy. I am not opening my book. I'm not opening my computer again. I get to get well. I get to heal my back. I get to heal from this. I get to take the time, and I get to enjoy this. You know, Saturday afternoon, we blew up the double tube. It has this little cooler. We threw drinks and some snacks in there, and we went floating the lake. That was the funnest thing of all. And we sat and laughed at the dogs trying to follow us. Usually they like to swim or ride with us, and we're like, we're not going to take them, so they followed us anyway. When I could enjoy our animals, nature, floating around, having the time of our life, totally different than, I'm not getting my project done. Really? I was at Lake Powell. Was I supposed to be doing a project or be on vacation? For me, I was supposed to be taking a rest. My back told me so. And what I can tell you is when Bill and I went through and worked on several healing things, it wasn't stuff from the weekend that was causing the biggest problems. It was me living in resistance to some other things. There was emotional baggage. There was a lot of different things we came up with. Most of his appointments have about 8 lines of notes, and that he takes over an hour to a 2-hour session, depending on what you're doing. By the time we got done with sessions for my back to get me to where I'm as healthy as I am today, it was a whole page. There was a lot going on, a lot that I had held, and it finally just festered up enough to create the opportunity for me to have change. I had to embrace that. I had to embrace the opportunity that we had at the time to heal from some of the stuff that was going on. I had to embrace the opportunity that I had to enjoy the moment for what it is. Enjoy floating on a tube at Lake Powell. Enjoy the 82-degree water. Enjoy life. Enjoy the abundance. Stop living in resistance. Live in abundance mentality. Allow yourself to embrace what is. Embrace where you are. Learn what there is to learn so you can take the next step. I hope you've enjoyed this episode today. For some reason, it's more important than the topic I had planned on for today, but I'm living in the moment and I'm sharing what really came up for me and for what I've seen in a lot of clients. You know, as I review different files and as I review different things before I have a mentoring session with clients, it's amazing how real life things will happen to me, which is stuff that's showing up with my clients. And living in the moment and stop having that resistance has been a big thing that has come up with different clients. So it's interesting that that's what's shown up in this space. Embrace those opportunities. Embrace what's happening in your world. Figure out what there is in there as a lesson for you. Learn from what's happening. Take it in and move forward. That's how we continue our progress. That's how we continue on that process of moving forward, enlightening our life, and making a difference in this world, right? The only way that you're going to make a difference is if when you embrace who you are, where you are, and what you've been able to overcome. That's when you can truly give back and show gratitude and live in abundance. Thanks for being here. I would like to give you one more offer, and that is go to the website, www.allthingspossible.biz, get your free gift, the 7 traits, but I would also like to offer to you a strategy session with me. If you would like to get a strategy session, click on the comment now button or contact us button, sorry about that, and send me an email. Let me know that you would like to have a session. Let's chat and let's talk about how I can assist you to move to the next level. Let's find out what's keeping you stuck. What's something that you can let go of, or what are the lessons you're learning? Let's chat and move your life forward. I'm Kris with All Things Possible. We love having you here with us and being on our channel with us. We love to be able to give to you just different tools and different techniques, things that we have learned through life challenges, study, and expertise. We love to be able to make that difference. Thanks for joining us, and we'll see you next time right here on All Things Possible TV. Bye-bye.